Hey, Pretty Girl Club. So, a couple of the Exoticals have been messaging me about this thing that recently happened with Sweetie, and people saying that Sweetie said that she didn't make music for a few years because she was criticized so heavily and people put her down so much. And they critiqued her every move to the point where she felt insecure about releasing music. And I've noticed this pattern with quite a few MLS women. I noticed this actually with Cardi B as well. I've heard that she has been, feeling insecure about not wanting to release music because a lot of people they will look at their actual amount of copies that they sell and they will try to make fun of the person. So I guess Saweetie only sold maybe about 2,000 copies or something within the first week of her thing releasing. In my opinion, that's not really a big deal because, first of all, who buys music anymore? I mean, I haven't bought music. Actually, have I ever bought music? Is that legal to say? But anyway, I personally don't think that the amount of records you sell within the first week indicates your success. But I have noticed this pattern where people they critiqued Sweetie, they critiqued Cardi B, they critiqued the heck out of Rihanna. Rihanna hasn't released her album, that R9 or whatever. She hasn't released that album like at all, and she was supposed to release it years ago, but it was the same thing with Rihanna. And I've noticed this pattern where if you are seen as the privileged one or the quote unquote pretty one, or people try to make fun of you and say that you're mid, then it can put pressure on the artist to like not release music at all. I noticed people did the same thing with Sierra. They like made fun of her saying, oh, she only sold like 16,000 copies within the first week. And a lot of people, they like to roast pretty women in particular because they want to humble them. And this kind of reminds me of how this can actually happen to women in real life, where when so many people are just criticizing you and saying you're not talented enough, or like you only got here because of pretty privilege, you only got here because you're light skinned, you don't deserve the spot that you have, then I can understand why it does make people feel insecure. But part of what I've been talking about on this channel, within the next couple of days, I'm going to be uploading a video talking about how we can begin to build a culture as exoticals, so women who are mixed or women who look mixed. Part of how I want to do that is I do enjoy listening to music of women who have a phenotype like mine. So you guys make sure to check out Sweetie's new song, Rich Tivities, as well as my girl Ryan Destiny, who is another exotical. She released a song too. So I hope you guys check those out. But I have noticed where a lot of people, they were commenting on Sweetie. They were saying, oh, she's 30 years old. Like she hit the wall. Like, yeah, this is going to happen to all the women once they hit the wall and stuff like that. And they were just trying to bask in the fact that Sweetie was having insecurities. And this just reminds me of how people will socially try to tear down the person who has social climbed the most. Because whether or not you think Sweetie is talented, she has done a fantastic job at social climbing her way into the industry. So it's like if she wanted to be a rapper, she was still able to make it without being the best rapper ever. And also, why is it that if a woman is pretty, she is required to be the best and most talented person ever in order to get any respect? Like, not every MLS woman is going to be Beyonce. And honestly, I feel like a part of the reason why Beyonce felt so much pressure to be as talented as she is because of how she looks and because of the way that they talked about Beyonce when she first started in Destiny's Child. People were saying she couldn't sing, that she was a bitch, that she was a mean girl, and that, she was basically bullying everybody and she was desperate to be at the top. So I do feel like part of the reason why sometimes MLS women feel the need to prove ourselves is because people try to make us feel like we are somehow undeserving and that, it's only our quote unquote privileges that got us to the position that we're in. And then I saw people online, they were making fun of Sweetie. They were like, yeah, her retweets, like she has more retweets than album sales, or like she has more Instagram followers and Instagram likes than actual album sales. But it's like, okay, even if somebody has a big social media presence, that is still a form of social power. That's still a form of, opportunity that she can create for herself. Look at people like the Kardashians. They don't have any albums whatsoever, but because of their social media following and because of all the people that are like supporting them, they're able to have opportunities. So just because Sweetie doesn't have as much album sales, that doesn't mean that she somehow is a failure. But I have noticed this thing where if you are considered the privileged one, people want you to feel inferior. They go out of their way to try to make you feel inferior to other people. And it's because they want to break your spirit. They want to humble you. It's just a very extreme humbling tactic. If people can't come for your looks, they will try to come for something else. Usually it's lack of talent. I noticed they said the same thing about Ice Spice, that she's mid. They said the same thing about Mariah the Scientist, that she's mid. You know, they do this to any woman that is considered pretty. And by the way, it's not just women that are talking shit. It's like men as well. They will talk crap because they're just mad that that person was able to successfully gain enough attention. You know, Sweetie, she used her pretty privilege properly. I mean, she used it in a way that really helped her to gain attention in the music industry, which is what she wanted. So just because she got into the music industry in a different way than other people, it doesn't mean that like it's okay to try to break that person's spirit down. And I think from here on out, I'm going to, or you guys will have to help remind me of any exoticals who you see who are like, you know, doing music stuff or just doing really cool things that we can support, because this is a part of how we are going to keep our culture alive. This is a part of how we are going to keep our image strong. So any exoticals that you see doing amazing things, dark skin exoticals, light skin exoticals, whatever, MGM, biracial, Creole, Afro-Latinas, if there are any MLS women that you see who you feel are doing great things, be sure to like definitely email me or hit me up in the Discord, because I like keeping up with stuff like this. But yes, I have noticed a lot of people they have this weird obsession with us where it's like they're either jealous and they want to humble us, or they kind of like are fascinated by our failures. Has anyone else noticed that? Like how a lot of divestment channels, they'll be like, she got the same black man, or like, look, this light-skinned woman, she got dumped. Oh my gosh, she got cheated on. Oh wow, look at her marriage. It's so bad. Ooh, this is a really big deal. Let's focus on how horrible her life actually is. And I've noticed that a lot of people, they love to fixate on the negative aspects of our life. And I feel like they do it because it makes them feel better about their inferiority complex, to know that, oh, well, you know, Sweetie is out here financially struggling. But what do you ladies think? Do you feel like the amount of albums you sell are automatically going to determine your success? Do you feel like people like to pick on women who are pretty privileged? They like to especially pick on you if you are considered the pretty one in your community. What do you ladies think? Let me know in the comment section, and I'll talk to you next time. Stay pretty, ladies.